raises an interesting question as to whether that reference to transgender status would in turn implicate the sex status that Title IX is meant to address. But ultimately, I think the court doesn't need to address that because you can stop at the first step, right? You don't have an actual transgender exclusion that would give rise to that kind of linkage of analysis.
All right, from the Supreme Court today, as they start their new term this week, and we're watching two cases that could impact the rights of transgender athletes. You heard part of the arguments as former federal prosecutor David Weinstein joins our conversation on this story. You know, that was a lot of this Bostock case, a precedent they're talking about when it comes to LGBTQ rights, I believe, but the Title IX reference, it seems like a lot of this back and forth comes down to Title IX. Explain how it applies or doesn't apply as you consider transgender athletes.
So, Connell, you're absolutely right about that, and that's like a lot of what the discussion was about. Title IX provides for equal treatment of all athletes in this situation in sports, and so that's what brings the feds into this, and this is the governing issue that's going to touch on all of this. And so the question boils down to who are they equally protecting and how are the rights being protected? One of the examples they talked about was there was no protection on the boys' side of things, that anybody could play boys' sports. And here it was only being applied as to girls' sports. So that's where some of this equal protection argument, different from 14th Amendment equal protection argument, but still an argument about Title IX and governing equal treatment of both male and female sporting leagues within collegiate sports.
The back and forth over sports, or sometimes even in high school sports, like with the West Virginia case, the transgender girl who's playing in the girls' track and field, throwing discus and shot put, was born as a biological male. I believe she's a freshman or sophomore in high school right now. And then in the other case from Idaho, there was this discussion in court today. I want to play some of this with the Solicitor General of Idaho and Amy Coney Barrett going back and forth on how we kind of regulate sporting environments. Take a listen.
If this is not a level of competition where anybody cares about that, the simple solution is the solution you see in most places, which is you have co-ed sports, you don't divide the teams based on sex, and everybody can play, and Idaho's law does nothing to interfere with that.
And remind me whether Idaho's law, and I guess your answer made me think of this, and I guess this goes to the question of whether the law discriminates on the basis of trans status. Is it true that biological girls, trans boys, can play on boys' teams?
Anyone can play on boys' teams, Your Honor.
So that's the suggestion, is that you just don't distinguish between the two, or?
Well, again, they're only addressing this in the context of boys, and then we're talking about biological status. A lot of the argument also centered on, although they may have been born a certain gender, by way of treatment, they were no longer that gender. So the argument didn't apply, and that they didn't have this advantage.
Will the ruling essentially come down to how Title IX is considered, about if it's protecting someone's gender at birth versus the gender which they now identify? That's the basics of the argument.
That's part of it. It's also going to apply whether they're applying it to an individual, which gets back to that argument, or whether they're going to apply it to individuals as a collective whole. It's a very complicated argument, Connell.
Okay, we'll keep covering this, again, in two separate cases today before the court. I did want to ask you about, before you go, Bill and Hillary Clinton today refusing to testify at this Jeffrey Epstein-related hearing, House Oversight Committee, now possibly held in contempt. What do we expect?
I expect the committee to go forward and try and hold them in contempt. They wrote, the Clintons, a very powerful letter today telling the committee why they believed it was inappropriate to need to even call them, that they had provided additional information to them that would substitute for that, as it had with others. They also pointed out that they had let another sitting president avoid having to testify in front of a committee for some similar to same reasons, and that, quite frankly, they threw down the gauntlet. We're going to see a showdown here, Connell, one way or the other, between the Clintons and between this committee. I have no doubt about that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.